It's WWE versus AEW in the Tuesday Night Wars. And despite what Triple H says publicly, this time it's personal.
Wow, you're in the mix with Pro Wrestling Bits.
The Tuesday Night Wars are upon us, and it's going to be WWE versus AEW. Bron Breakker versus Jon Moxley. Triple H versus Tony Khan. Ariel Helwani versus Dave Meltzer. Are you guys seeing this? I love how Ariel Helwani took a shot at AEW Super Marks, only for Dave to get offended. Drop that.
Look, whatever I'm going to say here is going to piss off the AEW Super Marks.
When he said that, I'm going to get, all the AEW Super Marks are going to come after me, and he used the word marks, which is just like, when anyone uses the word marks, it's such a turn off because it's just so bad. It's like it's a horrible word for fans. They're customers, they're not marks. Marks, it's such a bad word.
Ariel Helwani interviewed Tony Khan.
Yep.
And has since stated it was, quote, one of the most frustrating of my career. I didn't hear the actual interview. There's a lot of questions you can ask somebody like Tony Khan. I mean, he's not going to talk about the fight. He's just not. Knowing that, I move on to another question.
Brian, multiple times, says that he didn't watch the interview. Right. And then he goes on and says, if you don't like the answer, ask something else. Move on to something else. Move on to something else. Brian, that little part about CM Punk and the Brawl maybe lasted 90 seconds. It was a 77-minute interview. I honestly expect a little better from Brian.
Many people brought up that when he interviewed Paul, he didn't bring up the Vince stuff, which is far more important.
Oh, but you just sat with Triple H a month ago and you didn't ask him about Vince McMahon. Well, first of all, I did ask about taking over for Vince. And to equate the stuff that I asked Tony Khan about to the stuff that Vince McMahon is dealing with, if any quote-unquote journalist is going to make that comparison, I mean, you're not even worth my time at that point. You're saying those two things are the same? You're talking about a sexual allegation and, an improper relationship. You're comparing that to me asking about Cody Rhodes appearing at WrestleMania? What? Have you lost your mind? What is wrong with you people?
Grab a shotty when you see Helwani. Call the army when you see Helwani. They took shots up on the pod, didn't hurt him. You were about to feel the wrath of a journalist. He hit him up. Let's go. This might be the first diss track to be produced by a rabbi. I hope MJF gets to pick the winner. Thank God Kanye West doesn't watch wrestling because he'd be tweeting about all three of them. Bad Kanye. Anyway, this will be the first time Triple H's WWE will go head-to-head with AEW. Last time Triple H found himself in this position, he eventually found himself out of a job. After a one-sided Wednesday Night War, Triple H was gradually stripped of his power in what WWE would like you to think was a mere coincidence. It wasn't. NXT changed its entire philosophy almost overnight following its failure to put AEW out of business, and it was all part of Triple H's punishment for his failed assassination. Before Tony Khan was juking, ducking, and dodging Ariel Helwani's questioning like an And One mixtape, Triple H finessed his own Ariel Helwani questioning by brushing off NXT's loss to AEW in the Wednesday Night Wars. Triple H dismissed NXT as developmental.
We do, people put so much pressure on all this competitive wars. It never was that. Look, first of all, they beat our developmental system. Good for them.
That was Paul Levesque talking. What Triple H really wanted to say was, those rotten bastards almost cost me my livelihood. And the next time I see them, it's gonna be on site. Well, that time has come, and it's Tuesday night, October 18th at 8/7 Central. If you want to see just how much WWE really cares about this showdown, watch how they react if NXT pulls off this upset. And while AEW has recent history and star power on its side this Tuesday night, WWE's, quote, developmental show will be recruiting main roster stars. In NXT's small handful of wins during the Wednesday Night Wars, most of them came when main roster stars like AJ Styles and Sasha Banks were on the show. Right on cue, NXT teased Raw and SmackDown talent for its Halloween Havoc go-home show. And you can expect WWE to heavily promote Tuesday's broadcast like they did on SmackDown and like they will on Raw. The Triple H honeymoon period is still intact, even with football season back in full swing. With Wyatt Mania running wild, Raw did 1.824 million viewers and was up almost 40% in the demo. Raw featured more staples of the Triple H era, including surprise returns and a whole lot of Judgment Day. But a head-to-head win on Tuesday night would be Triple H's most impressive accomplishment yet. All things considered, it would also be his most satisfying. AEW has a few things working against them this Tuesday to bring its number close to what it was during the Wednesday Night Wars, which was around 850,000 viewers. Both shows can expect to face stiff competition from the MLB playoffs. The big black NBA is back, thank God, and opening night will hurt both shows in 18 to 49. So between baseball and basketball, both old and young people will be pulled away from wrestling. AEW moving nights will also come with a built-in decline as its audience is used to watching on Wednesdays rather than Tuesdays. Finally, and most obviously, AEW going head-to-head with another wrestling show in NXT will also siphon off viewers. AEW's viewership on Tuesday is almost guaranteed to fall from the 983,000 for this week's Dynamite, but will it fall far enough? AEW isn't taking this fucking shit lying down either. Team Tony has peaked toward an AEW World Championship match between Hangman Adam Page and Jon Moxley. It's a world title match between two top stars with a potential MJF cash-in play. Judging by Hangman Adam Page's fiery promo from Dynamite, there may have been a tease of the Young Bucks and or Kenny Omega. But if that is the case and you're AEW, you have to advertise that, right? AEW versus NXT will introduce the next chapter of the budding rivalry between Tony Khan and Triple H, which has been a war of two tactics. Tony Khan just wants everybody to get along. This millennial is taking the Gen Z approach to a wrestling war, and it may be his biggest weakness, both in and out of his locker room. Tony Khan, as a people-pleasing pushover, has not only led to his locker room taking advantage of his kindness, it's also opened the floodgates for WWE to do the same. WWE has counter-programmed AEW. They've booked shows in the same cities as AEW to burn out the audience. They've tampered with AEW talent to incite unrest, and they've succeeded, by the way. Triple H called them a pissant company at the Hall of Fame, all while Tony Khan lamented, "I thought we were friends." Well, that makes one of you, because literally nobody paying attention to this wrestling war over the past few years thinks WWE wants to be friends with AEW. You can't Rodney King your way through a wrestling war.
Can we all get along?
Hell, none of those wrestlers in Tony Khan's locker room are his friends. They're not even his employees. They're independent contractors who are only there because Tony paid them to be. And some of them don't even want to be in AEW under those circumstances. Smarten up! Tony Khan is starting to sound like some of these delusionally optimistic fans who just don't understand why people can't like both AEW and WWE. As somebody who does enjoy both companies, even I know better than that. America is not a let's just be friends country. It wasn't built that way, it doesn't run that way, especially on social media. Do you really think that in a declining empire, built on white supremacy, defined by tribalism, and on the brink of a nuclear war, motherfuckers are gonna see eye to eye across the board on anything? In what country are all these overzealous fanatics and AEW Super Marks gonna just get along with they apps? Forget this divided country for a second. You think in the wrestling space, which is male-dominated and polluted with overly aggressive, undersexed trolls among its fan base and media, that people are gonna just wake up one day and decide that we can all just be friends? No. There's way too much toxicity and racism within wrestling for that. Let's just be friends? Shut the fuck up. How about no more peace talks? Tony Khan is in a war, and the sooner he realizes that, the more war-ready he'll be, shouts to Jeezy and Ross. As for the Tuesday Night Wars, give me AEW Dynamite to barely edge out NXT, 875,000 viewers to 798,000. Who do you think will win the Tuesday Night Wars? Can y'all just be friends? Tell me in the comments.